Most parenting advice about toddler behavior gets it completely backwards. And if you've been following it, you may be accidentally training your toddler to keep doing the exact thing that you're trying to stop. If you're parenting a toddler and you feel like every day involves some version of negotiation, a standoff, or a meltdown, or if you're wondering whether the way that you're responding is setting you up for more cooperation or more conflict, this video is for you. Because every week of inconsistency during the toddler years is a week your child is learning what the rules actually are, and they're learning it from how you respond when things get hard. The dynamic you establish right now becomes the blueprint for your child that they carry into childhood, into adolescence, and into their adult relationships. I work with hundreds of toddler families as a clinical psychologist, and I've identified 3 critical things that determine whether toddlerhood becomes a season of power struggles or a foundation of cooperation that lasts well beyond these years. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you the exact language that makes critical thing number 3 work in real life, including the specific type of choice that stops a power struggle before it starts. Critical thing number 1 is what I call emotional regulation modeling, and it's the one most parents don't realize they're already doing, for better or for worse. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your toddler is not going to do what you tell them. They're going to do what they see you do. Their brains are in a period of explosive mirror neuron development. They are learning how to be a human being primarily by watching the human beings closest to them, which means the most powerful emotional regulation lesson that you can give your toddler isn't a consequence or a calm down corner. It's watching you stay regulated when things go sideways. I see this pattern constantly in my practice. A parent comes in frustrated because their toddler screams when they don't get what they want. And when I ask what happens when the parent doesn't get what they want, when the toddler says no for the 4th time, when the milk spills on the carpet, or when they're late and the shoes won't go on, there's a pause because they already know the answer. Your toddler's nervous system is literally borrowing regulation from yours. When you are calm, you give them something to co-regulate with. When you escalate, their nervous system escalates to match you. This doesn't mean being robotic. It means having a visible physical practice they can see. The parent who takes one audible breath before responding, who says, "I need a moment," before they hit their limit, the parent is teaching self-regulation more effectively than any timeout ever could. Now, once you're modeling regulation, the next critical thing is how you use your words, because the language you use in the toddler years sets up your communication for the next decade. Critical thing number 2 is communication, specifically calm, clear, and caring communication that includes the why behind your rules. So I want to start with something most parents don't think about. The way you communicate your rules and expectations right now in the toddler years is setting up your child's relationship with authority for the rest of childhood and eventually their adolescence. "Because I said so" is not a rule. It's a power move. And in the toddler years, it creates surface compliance at best and resentment at worst, because your child has no internal reason to follow a rule that they don't understand. What actually works is connecting your rules to values. So instead of "stop hitting your brother," try "in our family, we keep bodies safe." Instead of "go get your coat on now," try "we wear coats when it's cold because we take care of our bodies." Not a lecture, one sentence that gives the rule a reason. When children understand the why, 2 things happen. First, they stop seeing rules as arbitrary control. Second, they start to internalize the value instead. So eventually, they make good choices when you're not watching. The words you use at age 2 become the words that your child uses at age 12 to explain their choices to themselves. "In our family, we keep bodies safe" becomes an internal compass that they can carry forward. Keep it calm, keep it clear, keep it caring, and always give the why. Now we've covered regulation and communication. Before I share critical thing number 3, which is where the power struggles either stop or start, I want to make sure that you have access to the complete framework. Inside my free workshop, I walk through the full 5 C's framework, and communication is one of the 5 pillars. I go much deeper into the specific language that works at different ages and different scenarios, including a section on what to say in the exact moment your toddler refuses. You can register for free at drlindsayemmerson.com/workshop, and I'll link to it below. Now, the critical thing number 3 is what I call loving authority, and it includes something specific that most parents leave out: choices. The toddler years are the critical window for establishing yourself as your child's calm, confident leader, not a dictator, not a peer, a loving authority figure, the adult who holds the structure while also honoring your child's growing need to feel like they have some control over the world. Toddlers are developmentally wired to test limits. This isn't defiance. It's how they learn where the edges are and whether those edges will hold. Your job is to make sure that they do. Here's what that looks like in practice. When it's time to leave the park and your toddler doesn't want to go, you don't negotiate whether you're leaving. That's non-negotiable. But you do offer a real choice within the non-negotiable. We're leaving in 2 minutes. Do you want to go down the slide one more time, or do you want to do the climbing wall one more time? That choice isn't a concession, it's a regulation tool. It activates their sense of agency so that they can go along with the structure instead of fighting it. In my practice, I describe it this way. A loving authority figure isn't someone who controls their child. They're someone who holds the limits with warmth and confidence and gives their child real agency within those limits. That combination, warmth plus structure, is what decades of research on authoritative parenting consistently shows produces the best outcomes for kids. Establish it now. The loving authority figure you build in the toddler years is the relationship capital that you spend in the teenage years. I want to acknowledge something. If your toddler years have felt like a daily battle, it doesn't mean that you've already missed the window. These patterns can shift faster than most parents expect once they have the right framework. Toddlers are incredibly responsive, especially to a parent who's calm, consistent, and clear. You haven't missed anything. You're here, and that's exactly where you need to be. Here's what you're building towards. In the first few weeks of consistent application, parents tell me the daily standoffs start to shorten, not because their toddler stopped testing, but because they began to trust that the structure holds. By the end of the toddler years, if you've been intentional about these 3 things, you will have a child who cooperates not because they're afraid of what happens when they don't, but because they've grown up in a home where limits are real and their voice matters within them. Picture this. It's a Tuesday afternoon. You tell your toddler it's time to leave the park. You watch them process it. You can see the resistance forming. And then you crouch down and say, "We're leaving in 2 minutes. Do you want to go down the slide one more time? Or do you want to go up the climbing wall?" They think about it. They choose the slide. And 2 minutes later, they take your hand and walk to the car. Not because you want to stand off, not because they were afraid, but because they've grown up in a home where the structure is real, their voice matters within it, and cooperation is just what people do here. That's not luck. That's what happens when the toddler behavior patterns are shaped with regulation, clear communication, and loving authority. The work you do in years 1 through 4 doesn't just survive the toddler years, it builds the foundation for everything that comes next. If today helped you see the toddler years as a foundation to build rather than a phase to survive, I'd love to have you explore the full framework. My free parenting workshop walks parents through all 5 C's, including exactly how loving authority and communication work together in those hardest moments. Register for free at drlindsayemmerson.com/workshop. I'll link to it below. And comment calm below if you're ready to stop being held hostage by your toddler's emotions and your own. I read every comment and would love to hear from you. And if your child is getting into the 5 to 11 year range, make sure that you check out the next video in this series, 3 critical things that build confident kids. I'll link to it right here as soon as it's released, because the big kid years bring a completely different set of challenges, and the 3 things that matter most might surprise you. Keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.